Hello, everyone. This is Nurse Blue. Blue stands for Build, Love, Unite, and Empower people about my favorite subjects, hopefully soon to be yours, soul health. Listen, I am here today, what I think is with a very interesting topic that I think you might be interested in, because if you are a woman who's looking to defeat chronic stress, well, first of all, the way you defeat chronic stress is that you have to elevate your joy frequency. So freedom frequency is activating joy. What might be standing in the way of your joy is something called multi-generational trauma. Have you ever heard of that before? This thing here is so powerful because what most people don't realize is that many of us, if not all of us, are suffering from some form of multi-generational trauma. So it's also known as collective trauma, intergenerational trauma. Some people refer to it as generational curses. Well, that could be what's standing in your way of activating your joy. So let me tell you what this whole thing is about. Now, when you were in your mama's womb, okay, she was passing down all this good stuff to you, right? But guess what? She was passing down some stuff that wasn't so good, and she didn't realize she was doing it, right? It's called, she was transferring epigenetically her trauma to you. Yes, can you believe that? Researchers have found that we are so beautifully and remarkably made because, as you know, when you come to this channel, you're not a human being. You are a spiritual being that's having a human experience, right? And because you are a spiritual being, you're made of energy. That energy, believe it or not, has a soul, right? And that soul is made up of three parts: the subconscious mind, the emotional body, and your will. Now, the subconscious mind is where you actually, that's where all your beliefs are stored. Your emotional body, they matter. Because a lot of times people don't realize they matter because maybe you were treated like they did not matter. So it matters if you're living in fear, or if you're living in anger, or if you're living in rage. And it matters if you're living with a high vibrational frequency, baby, of joy, of love, and abundance. That's where we want to live. But what stands in the way of that joy, love, and abundance is this multi-generational trauma that was passed on to you when you were in your mother's womb. Yes. See, energy can't be created, can't be destroyed, but it can be transferred, and it can be transformed, and it can be transmuted. But in this case, it was transferred over to you. So what I'm simply saying is, not only if you experience pain on planet Earth or any kind of trauma on planet Earth at this point, not only are you carrying yours if you have not been able to process it, but you're also carrying your mothers and your fathers, and your grandmothers and your grandfathers. And perhaps, according to research, they're saying it's going back as much as 5 to 9 generations. Okay? Now, I found out about all of this stuff because I was, like many of you, suffering from chronic stress that led to a chronic disease. And my chronic disease was an autoimmune deficiency. Now, people will tell you they don't know where it comes from, meaning autoimmune deficiencies, but they know they're triggered by stress. So in my own quest to deliver myself from the disease of psoriasis, I found out that the more I tapped into balancing my body with joy, that I could defeat anything, including multi-generational trauma. But I had to deal with it. I had to learn about it. I had to even know it existed, right? So let me just, let me give a few definitions. Let me go into this a little bit more, okay? So let's deal with this big word that I'm hearing all over the place. Now, for those of you who want to come and check me out, y'all need to download the Clubhouse app, because you'll find me on Clubhouse pretty much Tuesday through Fridays. I'm doing musicology sessions in the Women in Business House and in my house, the Soul Health and Wellness Club. But when I'm stepping into the rooms on Clubhouse, trying to hear about what people are actually discussing so that I can learn, I'm hearing this word trauma all over the place, which I'm kind of happy about, because at least people are talking about something that you weren't hearing about many, many years ago, right? But for those of you who are like, what is trauma? Let me give you the definition. Trauma is something that significantly disrupts the way you function. Okay? So chances are, if you have gone through any kind of major pain or trauma on planet Earth, it probably disturbed your nervous system, as it does most people, right? But what I'm sharing with you now is that your mother's trauma that she did not process, and your grandmother's and your great grandmother's and all, and your, not just your mother's side of the family, your father's side of the family, you could be carrying some of the energy from those past traumas, right? And if you have melanated skin, you know you really experiencing trauma, honey, because this skin here has gone through a lot of oppression and a lot of trauma in different lifetimes, right? So if you are carrying, now you blessed not to have gone through what your ancestors went through, but guess what? They still pass down that trauma to you, girl. So we got to get rid of it because it's standing in the way of your joy. So if you're feeling like, you know, I always feel anxious, or I always feel depressed, or I always feel like I'm not feeling safe in my own body, maybe it's what could have happened to you, because obviously I've gone through trauma in this lifetime, but also it could have been something that unfortunately you picked up because you were born into a family that suffered from generational trauma. Let's do something about it, okay? So we want to get rid of it because I want to help you make history, honey. I want to help you become the first fully emancipated person in your family, meaning emancipated from the chains of anger, emancipated from the chains of fear, emancipated from the chains of shame and guilt and grief, because those are some of the energies that may have been passed down to you, right? And you may not be aware until now that that could be what's standing in your way from you experiencing joy. Every woman needs and deserves more joy. So if you want to get down to the root of the problem, multi-generational trauma could be your issue. You want to get down to the root? I have 4 ways you can get past it. So let me take a look at my notes here. Okay, first of all, the only way you could release trauma of any kind, whether it's in this generation or past generations, you have to be willing to do the soul health work. Soul health is the solution. So soul care is self-care, all right? So you have to be willing to dive in and become interested in how to live a soul healthy life, all right? So the next thing you need to do is be willing to break every chain. Be willing to break every chain. The chains that are holding you back right now in your life due to something that has happened to you. So, you know, maybe you've gone through a divorce, or maybe you were a victim of abuse, or maybe you have attracted narcissists into your life and you've been trying to heal past it, but your way of healing is not dealing with it. Your way of healing is to just stuff it and quietly deal with the pain of it and act like it doesn't exist. And what you're doing is you are disturbing the systems of your body. So you don't want to do that. What I'm asking you to do is be brave enough and courageous enough and love yourself enough to dive into doing the work. Be willing to break every chain, as I said. Be willing to deal with the issue. Be willing to feel through the issue. Be willing to heal the issue. That's when you're going to be fully emancipated, baby. That's how you get your joy back. And you should be willing to feel all of the vibrational emotions that's within you. You don't have to be afraid of your emotions, but I would advise you to get some support, a coach or a psychiatrist if needed, or a psychologist, someone to help you. And I am available to assist you if you need some one-on-one support with that. Okay, here's another thing you want to do. You need community care, okay? I don't want you to feel like you need to do this on your own. Sure, you'll be doing your own work, but wouldn't it be great if you could be a part of a wonderful supportive community? Because a lot of times people don't have wonderful supportive communities that they can go to help process past trauma, especially multi-generational trauma. So you want to align yourself with a community where you can thrive and become liberated. Become a liberated model for your family, which is the fourth thing I'm going to encourage you to do. You want to be the first emancipated person in your family, emancipated from emotional, multi-generational trauma. Wouldn't that be wonderful? Wouldn't it be wonderful if you are the one that passed down generational health, right? The one that passes down generational healing so that we no longer carry these trauma bonds, because that's what exactly happens when we don't deal with things. We start to attract trauma bonds, because when we have this energy inside of us that's unhealthy, we have a vibration, and then we start attracting drama to our trauma through relationships. That's why you have people that are out here dating this person and being in a relationship with these people, and that things fall apart. It's because a lot of these are trauma bonds that we're not aware of, and a lot of it came from multi-generational trauma. Isn't this amazing that we're getting this information, and now we can take the necessary steps so we can release ourselves from this bondage? Yes. And so as a model of liberation for your family, now guess what? We can allow the next generation to come onto this planet with a clean slate if we do the work. But you have to love yourself enough to do the work. So if this is you, meaning if this is making sense, and you're like, you know what? That makes sense why I might be struggling with my mental health. It might be the reason why you don't feel like comfortable in your own skin, or you have some problems connecting with people. It could very well be multi-generational trauma, honey. And if that is something that you want to do something about and you need some help and support, Nurse Blue is here for you. So here's where we can start. I'm going to post the link, and I want you to start with getting your vibrational frequency scale. Yes. I know most of you probably have a scale in your bathroom. As a spiritual being, you need a vibrational frequency scale. It's called the Map of Consciousness. And I have one available for you for free. You're going to click the link, get your free gift, get on my newsletter so I can always support you with soul health modalities. And then the next step, I would like for you to come and join me in the soul massage in the Soul Health and Wellness Club. Myself and Dr. Erica Montgomery, we have this fabulous community of women like yourself who want to release and defeat chronic stress that leads to chronic disease. So come and check out what a soul massage is all about. It is a great experience where we take you through a guided meditation, and also I introduce you to wonderful music designed to build you, to love you, unite, and empower you so we can start releasing some of those vibrational frequencies that's standing in the way, honey, of you living your best life and activating your joy, all right? So I got a couple of things to help us get started. And of course, come and join us on Clubhouse. Download the app today. Go to your app store, get the app, and join the Soul Health and Wellness Club. So when I post this link, it's going to go to my link tree, and you can go and activate your membership for the Soul Health and Wellness Club. And also I have a link there for the Clubhouse Soul Health and Wellness Club on Clubhouse. Okay. So with all that being said, we've dealt with multi-generational trauma, and I gave you guys some great tips on how we can start to work on it so that we can be free and activate our joy. Why? Because every woman needs and deserves joy, and I am here for you so you can go get all that you want, need, and deserve on planet Earth, okay? All right, so without further ado, guys, that's it for me. Don't forget to subscribe, give me a thumbs up, and I hope to see you on Clubhouse very, very soon. And if you want more information about multi-generational trauma, actually this Thursday on Clubhouse, myself and Dr. Erica Montgomery, we're going to be hosting a a session in the Soul Health and Wellness Club talking about multi-generational trauma and how to heal it. And again, this is a community designed to help you not be by yourself while you do this, but why not let's come together with great people who have aligned to support each other as we all become the best versions of ourselves. Okay? All right. So have a wonderful rest of the day, and I look forward to meeting you soon and also providing you with additional content on how you can activate the vibrational frequency of joy, because you deserve it, and I'm here for you to get it. All right. Bye-bye.